well. So stand by for that, if you will. Oh, yeah, this is being live streamed on YouTube, everybody, so just so you know. And we'll be live there in just a moment. So bear with while we're doing that. Great. Henry joining us from video unavailable. That's not meant to happen. Okay, let me just try that one more time. Sorry about this. Henry, yeah, how's Barcelona this evening? Thank you for joining us.
No worries, it's a pleasure to be here. Yeah, Barcelona's nice. We've had some storms recently, a lot of rain, and yeah, since then, this was at the beginning of the week, I've come down with flu, so not too much for myself going on this week, but I'm feeling a bit better tonight, so I'm here.
Well, thank you so much for doing that, considering, and as a Brit, we're used to getting flu in the winter, aren't we? So what's it like having flu in a hot country?
Yeah, it's strange. It's very, very odd. It must have been the change of temperature. Yeah, it's not been great, but I'm feeling better.
Being here, regardless, you're a trooper. As melhoras, as we say here in Portugal. Get well soon, my friend. So we've got Henry Kent with us from Holborn Assets. Mentioned in the previous webinar, talking about the situation. I'll just simply refer to it as a situation with the Portuguese housing crisis, Mais Habitação, and what's been going on in the government with that. And it looks like the golden visa has had a little bit of a stay of execution. The end of the tunnel is coming, but the little bit of light in that tunnel is Holborn Assets, who've got a webinar coming up, and we'll come back to that. For anybody who wants to take advantage of the golden visa, it is still possible to do so. Sorry to mix my metaphors, having trains in tunnels, but also getting your skates on as well. You do need to get your skates on and talk to Holborn Assets, and Henry will talk to us a bit more about that in due course. We have Carolina. Good evening to you, Carolina Cunha from EI, from A. How are you? How's the world of migration tonight?
Hi, I'm good. Migration days are looking very overwhelming. Right now, the demand has been very high, and it's difficult to explain to foreigners that Portugal in August is quite a desert. So we do our best.
Yeah.
But fortunately, tomorrow is September already, so yeah. And Carl, I have 3 disclaimers from Gilda to provide tonight.
Here we go.
Can I go ahead?
Well, you can. But I'm thinking, okay, Gilda's not here. That means I'm not going to get a hard time. But she's obviously sent a message to give me a hard time instead. Okay, go.
Yes, yeah. To be honest, I really don't have much context, but the notes are the following.
Okay.
So that tonight she won't be bullying you, since regarding to your gym goings, but next time it will not fail.
Yes.
Second note, to give a big congratulations to the most recent Portuguese residents, Derek and Linda Keith. And and third, Gilda also wanted me to thank all the hypothetical promises of gin bottles that she received. And she hopes that those promises become real and we receive them in our gold new office.
Excellent. So to give the context, Carolina, which might be helpful to you as well as everybody else. Yeah, I've just very briefly started going to the gym for the first time in my life. And when I posted that on Facebook, Gilda said, "Somebody help this man." So, which connects us nicely to gin, that famous year when I gave up drinking. Again, Gilda was concerned for my health and said it wouldn't be good for me to give up alcohol for a year. However, the mention of gin last week prompted, I think, a few people to suggest they might send in a bottle of gin to EI, to the AHQ. So yes, if you promise to do that, Gilda is watching by the sound of it, and she's made a note of every promise and will be following up on all of those. I can't remember what the other one was. What was the one in the middle?
The congratulations to Derek and Linda.
Derek and Linda, well done. Congratulations. Lovely. I hope you're here tonight and that you're receiving those congratulations in person this evening. So thank you for that fine introduction, Carolina. And do send my best regards and love to Gilda as well. No. We'll come back to you, Carolina. We certainly have a couple of questions already from the last webinar we were doing. Nunu, how's the world of insurance? We like it when it's quiet, don't we?
Hello. Oh, quiet. not here.
Okay, go on.
So, yeah, like Carolina said, we are on vacation, so we are struggling with the answering on time. I'm dealing with answers, I confess. So this is the first. The second, we noticed that people are, we don't know why, but they are handling, I don't know if it's all the process or only the insurance more on the date that they need to have the things done. So we are working on an urgency time frame. Regarding insurance, because it has indirectly reflections on the insurance field. Yesterday it was announced a reformulation of the SNS. Insurers, I don't have the numbers. Yes, they will. You say like what?
Yeah,
the Portuguese authorities, they are reformulating the SNS, so they are organizing differently. We don't know yet. It seems that will be for better, but we don't know yet. There are voices against and voices that agreed, so we don't need. We need to see more.
Well, and exactly, which aspect of it are we talking about, Nuno? Of course, we're talking about the health number, aren't we? The SNS number.
No, it's a change of approach. So, accordingly, with what I heard on the TV, is that now the patient, better the hospitals, they are financed based on close numbers. So it's they estimate, and the government support each hospital.
Right.
And what they is going to do is that the money will follow the patient, because by now, if we go to a hospital and the hospital don't want to us, we are talking about public, okay,
yes,
public system.
Yeah.
If the hospital don't want us there, they just put us away and send us to the closest hospital. But with that organization, they want that the money follow the person. So the hospital that receive the money, the subvention from the state, will be the one that is following the patient. Okay. So instead of throwing away the patients, hospitals will have interest on retaining the patients.
Okay,
so
streamlining,
a higher subvention they will receive.
Okay, so on the face of it, an improvement in how the public are treated within the public health system of Portugal.
Yes. Perfect. So, and they believe that with that, the service will be better. But
great, good to
hear.
We'll see. Thank you. Okay? Thank you very much for that.
This week, on Economic Journal, all the health insurers show their numbers, and they are all in red. And this means two things, or three things. One, that medical expenses are rising more than expected. So they are spending more money on claims rather than collecting premiums. And this means that the insurance premiums will rise.
Yeah.
Actually, I had announced these like 3 weeks away before that insurers start rising slightly, but they start rising the premiums. And this also means that there are a lack of service on the public system. So the only way of getting medical, getting healthcare on time is through the private, not through the public. So let's see.
Interesting. All right, thank you. So red numbers, meaning that the premiums are likely to rise. Does that happen mid policy, or does it happen upon renewal?
No. Yes, upon renewal.
Okay.
So for someone that bought the health insurance policy 1 month ago have the rates of 1 month ago for 12 months.
Okay.
Even if the rates are rising now, because they are rising now between August and September. Okay. But the insurer insures the premium, the yearly premium that could be paid monthly on a monthly basis. The insurer insures during 12 months.
Because as you've said before, it's a contract, isn't it? The contract also includes the price, and they're bound by that. I've got a cheeky little question for you on that basis. Can people hedge now? And if they, let's say they are not one of your customers, but they decide to join you before their other policy runs out with another provider, would that mean that they're getting themselves some good value, sort of hedging against where the direction of travel of rising premiums? If you've got an existing policy, can you take another one out, I suppose is my question, and get some good value?
But have two insurance policies?
Yes.
It makes no sense.
Okay.
For me, it makes no sense.
Okay, fair enough.
It makes sense. Wait for the renewal date.
Yeah.
Well, start handling that with 2 months before. Okay. Because we need time.
Yeah.
To put it in place. Handling with that with 2 months before, and choose a better plan.
All right. So don't leave it.
And another point, because sometimes I heard that a plan is not an insurance policy. No, there are plans that are only a discount plan, and there are plans that are a comprehensive, full coverage insurance policy. So don't focus on the words, focus on the product, on what you are getting.
Okay, so a good heads up there as well. Don't leave it till the day before, as some people do. And then give it a 2-month run up and get those quotes in before then.
Yes, and why? I believe that most of you know, or all of you know, that there are waiting periods. So the way of waiting periods is having the insurance policy for at least 1 year long, and then cancel on the end of the
contract.
The contract, exactly. Unless if you are not well covered, so could be better just cancel the insurance policy. Yeah. And if the insurance allows, cancel it in the middle of the period and go ahead with a new one.
Okay, so call Winsurance if you're getting near to the end of your current policy. You can get a quote from Nuno and team. I am safe at winsurance.pt, and the numbers, of course, that you can see on the screen there. Thank you to our dream team panel this evening. Thank you so much for being here. Great introductions. Thank you with a little bit of feedback from your respective worlds. How are the congratulations? Well, the congratulations are continuing in the chat for Derek and Linda. How are the celebrations continuing? We'd like to know, Linda and Derek. And they are saying hi from a happy Linda and Derek in Lagos this evening. Greetings from Ohio, where it's sunny and 21 degrees from Tom. Good to see you. And Ray and Vera, this is good news from within the Expats Portugal community. Hi to you all from a cooler BC, British Columbia. At last, only 5 weeks to go before we depart for Portugal, counting down the days. That sounds like great news there. That a few ducks are in a row for you there, Ray and Vera. And Terry B. Hello again. Good to see you here, Terry B, on this call. So get those questions in for the Dream Team. Something that was prompted in the earlier webinar with Daniel Reyes from Reyes and Pelicano, who, of course, you can find in the business directory of Expats Portugal at expatsportugal.com, was some talk about the Golden Visa. And there's a special webinar coming up, isn't there, Henry? Could you tell us more about that?
Yeah, no, I'm sure Daniel, I'm sure Daniel would have covered quite a lot regarding that. But yeah, what happened on the 21st of August was the president vetoed the proposed changes. So it gave us a window of opportunity for golden visas under the current rules to still be eligible. Sorry. And my colleague Jason Swan, he'll be holding a webinar in partnership with Expats Portugal on the 12th of September at 6 p.m. Portugal time to run through all of the updated news there, the process, the time frame that it can take, but more importantly, the available options that are there at this moment in time, because that's the difficulty, is finding investment options that are suited to the current criteria, and that's where we're quite limited. But Jason's going to be covering all of that on the 12th of September. So if anyone wants to sort of go in there and listen to that, then more than welcome.
Great, that's excellent. And yeah, fair enough. I know you're coughing and spluttering because you're recovering. So no, absolutely no worries. We're really delighted that you're here. So thank you for being here this evening.
Thanks,
we
Carl.
have some questions from YouTube and from Zoom. We'll prioritize Zoom as usual. Something else that came from the last webinar, Carolina, was this the criteria for accommodation. The rental contract, of course, is one, and having the deeds to your property is another. There were questions about whether it's still okay to be living with somebody who obviously tells, through the attestado, will tell or inform the local freguesia, the local parish, that you're living with them. Is that still permissible for D7 and D8 visas? Can you have someone say that you are living with them?
It's not like that. It's more like it's usable for the self-appointment, not for the visa. But for the self-appointment, if you live with someone that you don't have proof of it, there's we need to contact the parish council to make sure, because sometimes they have specific little details that they also want to see checked. But usually just 2 witnesses is enough. So the person you live with, and for example, the landlord or the neighbor, the upstairs neighbor, go to the parish council and say, yes, this person lives here. And the parish council issues a declaration saying that they declare that said person lives in that parish council, and that is valid for a month. And SEF accepts it as a proof of accommodation in Portugal. Okay, so it's not a long-term option. It's just for a month to say that you are actually staying somewhere legitimate. But actually, it's quite long-term, because when you go to the SEF appointment, if you present that option, you don't need to show a 12-month rental agreement. Right. Okay, that's interesting. Ben's asking, if that's the case, can I live with you, Carl? I'll need to think about that. I'm sure that's a question that gets asked on the Expats Portugal forum. Thank you for that question, or for answering that question that came forward from our last webinar. And more congratulations coming in for Linda and Derek. This is lovely to see. And of course, if you are celebrating a milestone of any kind, if the Dream Team have helped you move to Portugal, it's always great to get those testimonials in the chat as well, to see exactly how you've been helped. What were the high points for you, Derek and Linda, with how you've been helped by some of the Dream Team? If you could let us know, that would be wonderful. Question for Carolina while we're with you, Carolina. We have been working with Christina for almost a year. She's moved on from EI, is their understanding. How do we figure out who might be our new person? I'm sure that will be handled seamlessly. You just you can email me or our Geral, and we will tell you which of our migration consultants was assigned to you. Probably me, because I'm receiving every other ongoing process. But yeah, for sure, email us so that I can give you a for sure answer to Susie. There you go, Susie. You know what to do. You can see the email address on the screen if you need that, geral@eimigrant.pt. And of course, the Expats Portugal team will help to make sure you're properly connected to the team as well. You needn't worry there. And of course, it was a lot of fun working with Christina. Do pass on our best wishes to Christina in her forward journey, if you will, please, Carolina. Brian, I think this is for you as well, Carolina. I'm looking to increase my monthly passive income for the D7 visa by investing 20k into a 3-year fixed bond. I like the cut of your jib with your red braces investment approach here, Brian. And I think we're running it past Carolina to see if it's going to be okay. So there's a 20k going into a 3-year fixed bond. Deals in the UK are about 6%. That should give me a monthly payout of about 100. But it seems like
I need to be a UK resident to invest. Any suggestions, Caroline, on the best way to deal with this or other ways to increase my passive income? I'll be selling my UK property to finance my D7 visa. So you'll have seen this kind of juggling before of assets, won't you, to see how it can work out. Does Brian need to give you a call to go through this and sort of sketch it out to be a bit more certain about how this might work?
Precisely, because there's a lot of factors involved. I don't know. He's mentioning about the UK, but he's not a UK resident. So where is he based?
I believe he is at the moment, but perhaps he's concerned that when he moves here, that won't be the case. So I think, given the little nuances and fine print in that, Brian, perhaps a call to the EI office is in order, and maybe send an email just as Susie's going to do, who says, thank you, I will do, Susie there. So thank you, Carolina, for that. And you've got your first testimonial in for the evening. It's 2 words, Carolina rocks. Excellent. Thank you, Ray and Vera. How long will Christina's email stay valid at EI, says Miguelito and Kat Whitby. I'm sure that you needn't worry. All of the correspondence will be transferred across. We're already transferred to Carolina through using Christina's email. Okay, so I think I'm not sure if that's a question or a statement there, but rest assured, Christina's workload will be handled ably by others in the EI office there. Thank you, Carolina, for the time being, until we come back to you with other questions, either from YouTube or from the Zoom chat. I needed to clarify something with you, Nuno. I don't think we did this. This is the Fiador, the insurance product that you can, whereby a guarantee of some kind can be given to a Portuguese landlord who's not so sure. They've never met somebody coming from UK or United States. They want to go ahead and do the 12-month rental with them, but there's no guarantor. You have a product, I think, that can help with that. We'll need you to unmute as well, Nuno.
Sorry. Yes. We have that solution that guarantees to the landlord the 12 months rent. Yeah, it's a way of ensure and overtake the lack of financial records in Portugal.
Okay. And can either the tenant or the landlord take that out if they want to?
Yes. But the insurance policy needs to stay at the policyholder's name, because he is the policyholder who will receive the reimbursement from the insurer in case of a claim. Right. Otherwise, the tenant do the insurance policy.
Yes.
Don't pay the rent and receive
cashes in. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I can understand how that works. That's fantastic, Nuno. Thank you for clarifying that. Get in touch with the team if you need that service. Here's a lovely testimonial that includes you, Nuno, and EI here. I'll say it both ways so that people know who I'm talking about, which just sound like EIAIO, but you'll know who I'm talking about. Ode to Migration Dream Team from Yumiko. Carolina literally walked us through our D7 application journey via San Francisco consulate, and then now we have Portuguese health insurance all set. Thank you to Nuno, Camilla, and Elena. We are on our way to Porto soon, and of course, the EIA attorney will be with us on the CEF appointment day. We cannot thank everybody enough. How good is that? Thank you, Yumiko, for taking the trouble to share that with us. I'm also trying to figure out, says S, how to sell my house and create passive income instead of renting it out from Portugal as passive income. If there are any suggestions, please let me know. S, what I would suggest is jump on the forum at Expats Portugal and talk tactics and suggestions, ask for suggestions among people who may well have personal experience of doing or being in the situation you describe. The forum is a real mine of information. Dottie, sorry, I just joined. So Christina isn't with EI anymore. As clients of theirs, wouldn't we have heard that? Did it just happen this morning? We know she went on vacation, but we haven't heard any response from her. I think, again, if you could make a note for Dottie there, Caroline, that would be great. And we'll put your mind at rest there, Dottie. So just drop a line to Geral or send a PM or a DM to Carolina tonight. We'll make sure that's all tickety-boo for you. Serena, hello. I'm still in process with getting my D7 visa and intend to live with my friend who currently rents an apartment herself. Is this going to be plausible? Will they approve me moving to Portugal if I live with my friend, incidentally, in Tamar? So we've touched on this, and it was you, Serena, who asked that earlier on, and that's why I asked Carolina. Let's just clarify that. So one more time, Carolina. Somebody wants to come and they're living with a friend who is renting. Can that work as their D7 element of accommodation?
We need to check a few factors. So
Right.
for the visa itself, for the D7, when they are applying in the home country, their friend signs a term of responsibility for them. Later, when the visa is approved and they go to the SEF appointment, they have two options. They either take the two witnesses to the parish council and have the declaration be made there, or since I believe I didn't mention this detail, but these two witnesses need to be voters in that parish council.
Okay.
So, for example, if her friend is a foreign, like a Portuguese resident with not voting rights, does not count. That's why I mentioned the landlord or the upstairs neighbor, someone, not only Portuguese people vote, but someone that votes in that parish council. Just that way their word counts. Or they can just speak with her friend's landlord and just put her on the lease. It's much easier that way.
Oh, okay.
What
Yes.
you're saying is you don't think there'll be an issue with me getting the visa this way, is what you're saying. And then once I get there, we do this two witnesses and everything, right?
Yeah. Or the two names on the lease, if your friend's landlord is okay with it.
So that's another option. That's a really good thing that the experts, that's a great hack, isn't it? And a really good bit of lateral thinking. You get your name on that lease as well, Serena. I think, again, another call to just iron this out. Call the office, speak to somebody at EI and just completely put your mind at rest. But I think that puts you in the right direction. Are you okay with that, Serena, for the time being?
So can I call on WhatsApp? Is there a phone number for WhatsApp?
Yeah, we have I will drop my company phone to you.
Okay.
But please just tomorrow, because it's already 9:30 here.
No, of course.
If
Carolina,
you don't mind.
Yes, I should point that out. All of these folks have done a hard day's work already before joining us. You know, they're here in the evening because I think that clearly works a lot better for people overseas. So thank you. Henry, he's struggling. He's recovering from the flu. He's had a day at the office, I'm sure. Nunu and Carolina have had hard days at the office as well. But these are busy times, and they're just about to get busier as we move from August into September, last day of August here. So bear that in mind, and then give them a call in the morning when they're back in the office. Thank you, Carolina, for that response. Thank you, Serena, for the question. Thanks for all your good wishes, says Derek. Quite simply, we couldn't have done it without Gilda and her team. Nunu for all his advice, Jerry for his advice about the exchange of a driving license, and of course for the webinars which we started watching from the outset of our journey in December. It's been a great adventure with ups and downs, like with all great adventures. So our advice to everyone is plan well, keep positive, and ask for help from the Expats Portugal community, Linda and Derek. Love that. Thank you very much. Couple of questions from Zoom and Dane. We are currently visiting relatives in Colares, visiting from California. Do you need to officially live here to get a NIF number? Should we take that first, Carolina?
Yeah, that big one.
Yes. Do you? Well, let's break it down. Do you need to officially live here to get a NIF?
No.
You don't? Okay, that's an easy one, isn't it? Which seems, you're absolutely right about this, Dane, which seems to be necessary to do almost everything. Yes, that's true, including opening a bank account. Absolutely. My wife's mother was born in Portugal, and we are thinking the easiest route to migrate is for her to get relative-based citizenship. Any idea on how long this takes, and can you help, Carolina?
Yes, we can help with that. Just please send me an email. Usually, citizenship, it is called, I don't know if the literal translation makes sense, but it's called like originary. when it comes from direct relative. Usually this one takes less time, but I believe it would be like a year, but probably can be sorted to a little less. I don't know, depending on the details. Sometimes the person has already everything ready to go and it's just submission time. Other times it's like, oh, we still need to do the whole bureaucracy step. So we need to check that personally. Regarding the NIF, yes, it's a handicapped if you don't have it. You cannot do so many things like rent an apartment, open a bank account. Someone has told me that they wanted to buy a bike and they didn't let him because he didn't have a NIF. And I was like,
what sort of bike? A bicycle or a motorbike? Or does it, maybe it doesn't matter, but yes, it is a shorthand, isn't it, for connecting with people? So you're absolutely right, Dane. It does form the basis of many relationships, certainly commercial ones. Hopefully not too many relationships, but who knows? Thank you very much, Carolina, for that. Thank you for the question, Dane. Do we need to originate the citizenship from the US? You will have to do that, won't you? You'll have to do that outside the country.
I believe, yes, with the Portuguese consulate of the jurisdiction of the person. But I'm not 100% sure since I don't handle citizenship. I do D7s and D8s and.
Fair enough. So we're creating lots of lovely work for you for tomorrow. That's another call. That's another call in the queue for tomorrow morning there, Dane, to get clarification on that. But I think, Caroline, you've been incredibly helpful with that so far tonight, as with all the other questions. We'll go back to Nunu, and Gary's asking, I need car insurance in September. Is this something Nunu can help me with? Hell yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Yes, for sure. And a quote for house insurance?
Yes, for sure.
Yes. Okay. And what about insurance for his proposed chocolate shop that he was talking about? I'm making this up. I mean, I'm not making up the fact that he's opening a chocolate shop, but he hasn't asked about insurance for it. But presumably you can offer insurance for commercial premises as well.
Yes, yes.
There you go. If it's got insurance in the question, basically the answer is yes with Nunu. We love this question as well from Veronica. It's my first time to this channel. Do you help with migration and moving? We so do. Expats Portugal is all about helping people move to Portugal, Veronica. And this is a great service. Every Thursday evening at 9 is the Dream Team. And you can just ask questions. I recommend you join Expats Portugal. And if you do so as a premium member, you'll get discounts off the various services offered by the Dream Team members here. So check it out. Go to expatsportugal.com and highly recommend, as you'll see from the other testimonials here, that if you join as a premium member, you'll get access to great people and you'll get discounts and perks as well. So Veronica, stick around. If you've got a question, do ask it. Mr. S, Nunu, let's stay with you. I have the UTENT number. That's the AKA for the SNS you were talking about before. It's printed on my residency card, so it's permanent. They told me it was provisory or provisional. I got the number before going through CEF. Can we help with that? Or can you help with that?
As far as I know, the SNS number, you only can have it after getting the residency. So after self-appointment, not before. So it sounds strange because you didn't have yet the self-appointment, right?
I'm not sure where Mr. S is on that. And of course, Serenity might be quite a good option as well to check with whether it's provisional or it's actually going to be the one. We can help Mr. S for sure within the Dream Team capability there. But yeah, a little bit unclear for us so far. But maybe a call to Serenity tomorrow. We'll get to the bottom of that for you. Gus is here as well on YouTube. Can't wait to meet you all. Scouting for us starts in the summer or fall of 24. Looking to move in 26. A nice long timeline there. Probably don't need just yet to get in touch with the Dream Team, but thank you for your heads up on that and getting ready for scouting in 24. Nathan also here. Hola team. Hola, boa noite to you. I went for my Digital Nomad CEF interview on the 14th of July, but I have not received my residence card. This is for you, Carolina, I would think. Can the team tell me how long it's going to take for the card to be delivered these days? So yeah, I mean, Digital Nomads, anything to report from the front line of Digital Nomadry, Carolina?
So digital nomads have been going great. For now, smooth sailing. Regarding to this person's question, we cannot count August on the timings. So we skip this month while making the math, but usually it takes a month up to 3 months. So it has only passed the July 1. So August, forget about it. So September until October, it is fine.
Yeah.
But if after October it does not arrive in his home, he needs to check to get a status on the visa, on the residence permit.
Okay, there you go. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, it's like they're only 11 months really here in Portugal. That's how it feels sometimes. Is it going to be, are you going to notice a really obvious difference tomorrow morning, do you think, Nunu and Carolina, with it being the 1st of September?
I don't think so. I probably only on Monday.
Right. Okay. So we're gonna claim the 1st of September as the 32nd of August. Everybody. Okay. So let's get back into it on Monday morning. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Peter. I fly to Portugal tomorrow and look forward to life in this amazing country. Watching these videos and advice from the Expats Portugal community has been so helpful getting to this point. Thanks a lot, Peter. It's a pleasure. And as Jerry's asking in the chat here, thanks for all the kind comments. If you haven't already done so, please consider leaving a review of our services and our dream team on our website. And the link is there if you could do that. I might just transfer that across to YouTube as well so that people can do that over there. Jerry, I'm doing it now. There we go. Excellent stuff. Wendy is asking, I'm reading everywhere that you need a NIF to open a bank account and a NIF to get a lease, but some places websites say that you have to have a lease before you get a NIF. How do you break up that catch-22, Carolina?
So you need to when you get a NIF, you need to present a proof of address. But this address is the one before Portugal. So the origin country's address. So if this person is American, it's their American like driver's license or a utility bill, something like that can prove the American home. Yeah. And then they apply for the NIF. And usually they should have tax representatives. That's why companies help people get their NIFs, because a tax representative is like, with less words, is like when a company or a person takes responsibility from receiving the letters from this person in Portugal, because the Portuguese government could not afford to send letters to all over the world. We would not, our taxes would be to just pay stamps. So no, yeah. We just, say a person or a company's name to be the responsible for you. Mm-hmm. And you use your home address as your address on the NIF, and the tax representative's address as your representative in Portugal. So you do not need that to have a Portuguese lease to have a NIF. It's like it's impossible.
There you go. We're getting real-time confirmation from Wendy. Yes, California address. Okay, says Wendy. Pleasure to help you. Thank you, Carolina, for that. We'll stay with you because we've got a question from Tanya Gomes. Olá, boa noite. Can I apply for a Portuguese citizenship through my son? He is a Portuguese national. Can mother do it via son?
Depends, is the nationality originary or derived? Depends.
Right.
It has more details, because not all nationality is able to be passed on.
Oh, okay. So if they are a citizen, as in somebody who hasn't become a citizen, but they were always a Portuguese person, as it were, born Portuguese, then they can have a family reunification. However, if they've become Portuguese through a visa, that's a different scenario, is it?
Yeah, that's different situation. Okay. It has a whole lot of other requisites.
Yeah. Okay. And it's a classic Portuguese answer. It depends. You do get to hear that a lot, and I think I was talking to Gilda long ago, and and understandably, it's not a way of getting out of answering the question. It's true. It does depend, doesn't it, in so many situations. And I said to Gilda, how do I say it depends in Portuguese? And guess what her answer was? It depends. What? Okay, you get the gist. All right, fantastic. Nathan, Gus, thank you. Tanya, Peter, wonderful comments. Wendy, thank you. We've answered your question. Mehmet, this looks like good news. Hi, Carl. Long time no see. Cheers. He's not asking a question, so we can assume that no question is good news from Mehmet. I hope it's all going well for you, my friend. And Mr. S, but I think Michael is the person who know that. I think, okay, we're talking about Serenity, I think, there with Mr. S, who's trying out a bit of Portuguese here tonight as well. That's great. Is that a bem-haja? Yes, it is. It's a bem-haja. Nuno, vai com Deus. Very old-fashioned, referring to a conversation we had a little while ago. So that, I think, is everybody over on YouTube for the time being. We are at 22 the hour. So do get your questions in. Let's not have a massive rush at the end. Thank you for working so hard on screen and behind the scenes, Carolina. DMing and PMing people with your number there so people can contact you in the morning, not after the webinar or during it. Thank you very much. Ben's saying, for Carolina, do we qualify for both the D7, that's the wife, and the digital nomad for me? Oh, this is a great question. Is one easier, or what are the pros and cons of D7 over D8? What would you say dealing with both of them, Carolina?
So I'm going to give an answer that will surprise you very much.
It depends.
Exactly.
Of course. Right.
It depends because it will depend on the other factors, like if the person is able to get the Portuguese bank account easily, I would suggest the D7 route because it's a much more older visa, very well established, and usually it's less tricky. If not, if the other way, if this person's income through the D7 is low, it's like a not very strong D7, and it has a stronger D8, it would be more through that. Or if the person is an employee or a contractor, also depends on what documents does the person can provide. If the person is above the minimums or right at the minimum. So I would need to ask the numbers and sit down with him and check specifically how much this way and the other way. And I believe it's too much of a personal conversation to have.
Understood.
Here.
Yeah, understood. For some
Please
people,
send us an email.
Yeah, there'll be pros and cons for as you asked, it's in your question, Ben, and it really is very personal and subjective and worth having a conversation. Good evening to you, Ben. Good to have you here. And yeah, absolutely. I imagine Carolina will be PMing you as well with a number or contact details to do exactly that. Thank you very much, Dottie, for your question about the perks, benefits, etc. of being an Expats Portugal premium member. What I'd recommend with that, when you become a premium member, you will have a one-to-one with a member of the Expats Portugal team who will detail the entitlements you have as a premium member, and check it out, of course, on the website as well. It's laid out on the website what the benefits are. So take a look there, and of course enjoy a one-to-one with somebody in the team once you become a premium member as well, and they will familiarize you, induct you into being a premium member. Carolina, Miguelito and Kat Whitby, good evening to you both. Love that. Formerly Michael, now Miguelito. Carolina, when we received our D7 visas a couple of weeks ago, they did not include a date for the CEF appointments. How would CEF advise when your meeting is if you are not using a? How very dare you? Okay, but is there some small print somewhere?
Yeah, so sometimes it's quite rare, but sometimes when the consulate issues the visa, the appointment does not come printed there.
Oh, okay.
It's like, we really don't know why. I've heard different answers, like the system was down and they didn't want it to keep the people waiting, or they could not check for available slots near the place that they live, and again they did not want to stall the person, so they just gave them the visa, and the CEF appointment would be sorted later. But when this happens, usually CEF also the consulate delivers a paper page saying CEF's telephone number, and tell them just call and schedule your appointment. Okay. And if the person does not work with us, they have to do it themselves. And in this case, with these clients, they are working with me, and we do the appointment for them. So their visas came without it, and I asked them in what region do they wanted the appointment, more or less the timings of their life. They told me, and I asked my colleague on the front desk that handles the calls, and she will be doing that for them, because they are entitled for the appointment. It was just like I don't know if it was a printing mistake, something like that. It was not given, but it will.
Well, Miguelita or Kat is saying no note was included, so they've got to call. They've got to make the call, haven't they? And find it. Yeah. Okay.
So if no note, they would need to just Google CEF's number and just call, and it's a very difficult line to call. It's like it's like we try every day, and we get a few calls, and we are on it. We are constantly doing so, and it's very hard. So I cannot imagine someone like not knowing, so having to do it, would probably think that the line was interrupted or something.
Yes.
But it's like that every day.
But of course, this will all be sorted out in October, won't it?
We'll see. It depends.
Can I just clarify something with you? I thought the new name for the agency, CEF, of course, is dissolving and becoming a new agency and rising from the ashes. I thought it was going to be called APMA. Is it actually going to be called AIMA, AIMA? Is there some confusion around the new name, Carolina?
I don't know. I'm as confused as you with this new entity, because when the information is not clear, I really don't trust it, because all of this immigration stuff, this is all based on law. This is not based on rumors or the one person tells to the other and that one tells to the other one. No, it needs to be well established, published, and I believe when I see that formal way.
That's a good guide. So when it's decree law, that's when information can be trusted, when it's based on Portuguese decree law rather than just press releases or news stories or whatever. Very good.
Careful reading Correio da Manhã.
Well, not just them though, presumably. Or is it especially them? I mean, oh, okay, it is. All right, fair enough. I was trying to defend them, but okay, that's obviously something Portuguese people understand that I'm not.
Nuno is laughing because he knows.
He laughed out loud, and then he got the screen as a result. So yes, okay. Don't believe anything you see in there. Henry, while we've got you here, can you tell us a little bit more about the other services you can offer to Expats Portugal members as well?
Of course. This was one thing that I was going to jump in and to mention. We are first and foremost a wealth management company. So we do provide cross-border financial advice to expats in Portugal. There was a mention earlier, I believe I've just been able to get up the notes from Brian Taylor speaking about investing 20,000 into a fixed interest bond earlier. I've actually assisted a client last week with a similar situation, and there are alternative options available to the expatriate market. That's something that we do assist and can help with, but one very popular option at this moment in time is Skipton International for Brian to take a look at. They offer a 2-year fixed interest bond of around 5.25% in sterling, and it's available to the expatriate market. So if he is struggling from a non-UK resident point of view, that's definitely worthwhile for him to explore if he's still listening in today.
Yeah, Brian's still on the call. That's great. That's brilliant. Thank you very much for that. Anything else you want to share about Holborn Assets?
At this moment in time, just for the webinar coming up with Jason for the Golden Visa. I'll be then conducting another webinar as well coming up for the wealth management and financial planning aspect, more of the areas that I've just spoken about there for Brian. But yeah, for tonight, my voice is crackling at the moment, so I apologize for everyone.
And it's all about the Golden Visa at the moment as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay. Having spoken to
Thanks,
Jason
Carl.
recently, he's being kept busy, and we often talk about his tan, which is not coming on very nicely. But that's because he's in his office all the time, processing Golden Visas, and he's moved to the Algarve, hoping to get a little bit less than completely pale, like your shirt, Henry. But that's not that's not happening yet. Thanks from Brian to you for that, Henry. So you may get a call from Brian as well. We're going to squeeze a few more in. We've got about 10 minutes to go. The Skipton you mentioned, is that what used to be the Skipton Building Society back in the day?
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, they have an international arm.
Yep, and Glenn is saying they have real people on the support lines. Great option. They were for a long time a really good mortgage company, weren't they? With an ethical product as well. And they would take not risks exactly, but they would deal with different kinds of clients, which clearly they're doing in the expat market now as well. That's fantastic. So we go to Terry now in the last few minutes of the Dream Team tonight. We're here every Thursday at 9 o'clock Lisbon time. I plan on building a home in the Azores. That sounds like a lovely plan. Do I have to wait till the home is complete to use this on my D7? I am asking so I know when to start on the D7. That has got to be an it depends question, hasn't it, Carolina?
Well, yeah. We need to use the proof of purchase, we need to have something called caderneta predial, which is like the registration of the building in the tax office. But before the building exists, do they have the caderneta predial? I don't know. But there's like two kinds: the caderneta predial urbana, which is for the buildings, and the other one rústica, which is for the land itself.
Mm-hmm.
The one from the land, I cannot use it. It's land. It's like this. The consulate will tell you where are you going to live, on a tent. It's not recommended. Okay. But if the person already has the other one, the urbana, I don't know, probably we can try, but as long as we need that paper.
We've got to see the documentation. So it's got to look like you're not living in a tent or a camper van on a piece of land that you've bought there. Great question, though, Terry. And please send pictures and share your journey on the forum. That sounds so lovely. Building a home in the Azores. What a lovely dream to have. And looking forward to that being a reality for you. Keep us in touch with that. S is asking, Henry, can US residents do the same thing with the bond you're talking about? I'm trying to find a way to create passive income if I sell my home in the US.
I believe so. Certain banks prefer not to due to FATCA legislation, but I believe that Skipton International does accept. But there are alternative options available there as well. It's not one option that is available. So if she wants to look at alternatives or what is available, then I'll be happy to send over and run through them with her. And
if you will, Henry, can you put your contact details in the chat so that people can get in touch with you in that way? That's great. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for answering that, despite having the flu. Good on you, mate.
Yeah.
And get well soon with that. Copy and paste says, am I able to get a bank account in person without an appointment at the bank? It can happen. It's kind of like a miracle, isn't it, Carolina, when that happens? What is the situation with bank accounts at the moment?
Yeah, it's troubled right now. It's difficult because the banks need to categorize the person, and a lot of times the I don't know if I can say clerk at the working person at the bank.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't know anything about immigration, and they don't understand the concept of this person is working to be a legalized person. So it's like they just say, oh no, you don't have papers. No. I had someone call the office this week telling me that he tried 6 banks and he was denied from all of them, and he wanted our help. And he was like, I thought I could do it alone, but I guess I can't. And yeah, so still running on that problem.
Okay, but you can assist, can you? I mean, has the
Yes.
situation improved with EI opening bank accounts? For
Yes,
people?
we've made a few partnerships with banks, and as of now, everything has gone smoothly, and we have no complaints. So when people have this problem, they can always reach out to us, and we connect them with bank representatives that we have already spoken and handled, and gone things great.
Good, excellent to know. So if you want to take a lot of the trouble out of that copy and paste work with EI, you can see on the details there. Failing that, go to the Expats Portugal business directory. Miguelito, Henry, do the financial institutes accept US credit worthiness reports in their considerations? Did you see that question there, Henry?
Yeah, I've just seen it there. I'm not sure what he means by that.
Okay, Miguelito, if you can, I know him as Michael, but Miguelito it is this evening. If you could clarify, that would be great in the 4 minutes that we have remaining. Well, we haven't asked how Mandela is. I'm aware that my dog, I've left a little crack in the door open for the new kitten to come in and out, and Big Jimmy has pushed his way into the studio, which could mean trouble. How is Mandela while we're talking about pets?
Well, Gilda gave me so many notes, but she didn't inform me how her special dog is
well,
doing.
then we'd like to give a note to her, if we may. If I may
Okay.
speak on behalf of everybody here, we're terribly disappointed to not know how Mandela is doing. And I would like her to WhatsApp me tomorrow morning, if that's okay.
Okay, I will give her the message. I will be with her
Thanks,
tomorrow.
Caroline. Important business. Right, okay.
Yeah.
A great question from ML500. What would be a disqualification on the FBI background check? This, of course, the check that you're not supposed to open. Curiosity sometimes gets the better of people and they open up the document, I think. But what would be a disqualification on an FBI background check?
Well, when people have not blanked criminal records, we need to, it's like something we need to work on. So they need to get the reports from the police and from the courtroom, depending on the situation, to show that the matter was already handled and properly fixed and done and in the past.
Okay.
But sometimes that is not the case, or there are a few crimes that completely cross the opportunity of being an immigrant to a person.
Understandably so. However, I think ML500, I mean, it's probably not the sort of thing you do on a webinar on YouTube saying, I did X, Y, or Z. Can I still come to Portugal? You might want a more personal conversation with the office on that, with that crazy thing that might have happened at college that's all in the past now, but is still possibly on a criminal record. So have a chat with the office. Miguelito, do you want to ask your question yourself to clarify with Henry? I think he put his hand up and as if to do that, but has disappeared again. Maybe that's been resolved behind the scenes. We've got a couple of minutes to go. Thanks for answering my question, says Tanya. I want to ask you a little bit more about this August-September thing. We'll start with Henry. Is it the same in Barcelona? Do things really quieten down? I mean, not in the market square where everyone's partying, but business-wise, does it go quiet in Barcelona as well in August, Henry?
Exactly the same. Accountants and lawyers, especially.
Okay.
It's exactly the same, yeah.
Very interesting. So it should get busy again on the 30th, not on the 32nd of August tomorrow, but on the 1st or the 2nd. No, what will it be? Well, when it's well and truly September on Monday. Same here, Carolina. Can I ask you? We have been peak festa, haven't we? This summer has been amazing for partying, holidaying, Portuguese people on holidays. The kids are ready to have a sleep in class, I think, again. Now they're back at school or soon will be. What can we expect? Is the next busy time in Portugal when the Christmas period begins? And sorry to mention Christmas, everybody. Now we're only at the end of August. But what I'm trying to figure out is when it gets busy again socially, and when people trying to get business done can anticipate the next hold up. Will that be the Christmas holidays?
Yeah, the Christmas for sure. but I believe Christmas is more common known as a stopper of services, all of it, because clients tell me right away, oh, December, I know it will be a very slow. And I'm like, oh yeah, correct. But August, when I tell them it's August, they are like, what does that mean?
Yes. Yeah, something to get used to. So, okay, 32nd of August tomorrow, back in business in September. Would you agree with that, Nuno, as well? That assessment of we got September, October, November, where we can really get some business done now in Portugal.
Yes, we have some hot dates and on the calendar, and yes, for business. August is a trouble because in some way of the chain, someone is on vacation, so it delays everyone. This is the problem. So it not depends on one or two persons. No, there is a chain, and someone is on vacation. We in Portugal, you notice that September is a busy time also, due to the beginning of the schools. So people stays crazy and they want to think on anything else despite schools. So I add September due to the scholar calendar.
You have been warned, everybody. Stellar performance tonight. And I'm a little bit psychic. ML500 says true. 45 years ago, it was a youthful indiscretion. So have a chat. You don't have to say any more, ML500. Just have a chat with EI, with A, and give the office a call, and they'll be able to tell you how to approach that indiscretion 45 years ago. Henry, thank you so much for being here, despite having a touch of the flu, or full on flu by the sound of it. Great to see you, and make a note, everybody, of that webinar, 12th of September. Great to see you, Henry. Thank you very much. Nuno, thank you for being here tonight. And Carolina, thank you very much for being here. Brilliant Dream Team performance tonight. Over to you, Jerry. Sorry, we're 2 minutes late.
Yes, thank you, Carl. You can see that didn't want to get highlighted on this, but Astrid and I have been trying different backgrounds.
Oh, I see. Right, okay. I'm so sorry. It was just at forthcoming attractions. Anything to share with people before we go? And for you to do your catchphrase, your world famous.
I'll do it then. So first of all, on Saturday at 9 p.m. Lisbon time, we'll have our monthly social online gathering led by Connie with her junior trainee apprentice assistant Hank. And that starts at 9 o'clock on Saturday night Lisbon time. I think everyone's familiar with the format, but it is a social gathering, and we break off into small groups, and people get the chance to chat openly with 4 or 5 people at a time, and that can be really interesting. And then following that, on Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Lisbon time, I'm going to be very careful what I say now. We have a webinar to try and create awareness for the things that can go wrong in the choice of professional, using that word very lightly, the professional services that might be available in Portugal. We have a few bad experiences to share, and hopefully people can be forewarned and tread carefully whether they use our partners, whom of course we hope they do, or whether they use other companies. So that will be at 7:30, and then at 9 p.m. we will be back to our wonderful Dream Team sessions as per just now.
Thanks very much.
That's it. Have I missed anything? No, just looking at my colleagues.
Astrid?
No, just the golden visa one that's been mentioned a few times already. So, which is
yes, of course, yes, I forgot. Yes,
Tuesday, thanks, very Astrid. Special time at 6 o'clock. And all these events can be found in the events page on the website. And also go in there. There's a new look forum, so we'd love to get some feedback on that. So go in and check it out.
Great stuff. Okay, thank you, everybody. Sorry for keeping you those extra minutes, Dream Team. I don't like to do that, but we had so many questions tonight and things to share with everybody. Jerry, where will we see them?
We'll see them in Portugal.
All together now. All right, thanks, everybody. Take care. Bye for now, and we'll see you.
You have to write a song about that, Carl.